I don't know why it always takes so long before it starts recording. You would think it would start instantly, but no. There we go. All right, so we're going to be jumping on to the nested style, which, as I said earlier, is a paragraph style which has character styles inside of it, which is pretty nifty. So what we're going to be working on is this second spread here, which talks about the actual T's. And basically what we're going to be formatting are these paragraphs that you see here. If I click on this at the moment, I see that the paragraph style is set to T body. T body. So that's the paragraph style that's already applied, and it's applied throughout this document already. So somebody has already A, created the paragraph style that you see, and B, they've already applied it to all of these various T's. Now, you'll notice that at the top of each paragraph, they've decided to put in a specific, let's call format, for how they've named the tea and the country from where it's originated. So we see that for this first one there, and for the rest, we've got the name of the tea, in this case, Earl Grey. Then they've decided to put 2 colons, and then we have the company name, the country name, followed by a bullet point. Now, the reason why I'm interested in that is because when we set up these nested styles, we're going to need to tell InDesign how to format it or where to apply the character style. So that's why, and now I'm just looking at what is available, how they've set this up, so that I know how to apply these nested styles. So what I want you to do for me now is we're first going to set up a character style. We could set up 2 in the manual. They make us do 2 character styles right out the gate. I'm going to do one the way that we normally do it, and then the second one we'll do inside of the nested style options. So what you're going to do for now is we're going to format, let's say, the Earl Grey part, and I'm just going to look at what they want that final Earl Grey to look like. So for that, in the meantime, while I'm doing this, you guys can just select it. So select Earl Grey. And what we're going to do is change the character color there. So the color for Earl Grey, we're going to make into a khaki. So in the fill color, you can go to fill. And you should see sort of like a khaki green once you open that up. You're going to choose that khaki green. Okay. And now this is quite important. We need to create this into a character style so that we can use it later. So we've made this text khaki green, but we need to save this as a character style. So head up to your character styles. Make sure you select character styles and hit the little plus button there. We're going to name this T name, and you can go and hit enter there. That's T name. Now, we could create the character style for the country name in exactly the same way. That is an option. We're not going to, though, just because I want to show you a different way to do it. What we're going to do now is we're actually going to edit the paragraph style that is being applied to this whole paragraph. So you don't have to have your cursor placed anywhere particular for this. we're going to edit the paragraph style itself. So if you head over to paragraph styles and you see T-body, click on the drop-down menu there, and you will see when we hover over a paragraph style, there is a little pencil icon. If you click that pencil, it's going to bring up the paragraph style options. So essentially, it's going to allow us to edit what that current paragraph style looks like and how it functions. So instead of creating a new one, we're using the existing one and we're just updating it. Now, my recommendation is that you turn on the preview if you don't already have it. So in the bottom left-hand corner, you will see preview. Make sure that's switched on. That way we can see any changes that occur. Now, we don't need to make any changes to the basic format of this paragraph. That already looks great. That's fine. What we are interested in is this nested styles, drop caps and nested styles. All right, so I'm editing the paragraph style T-body and we're in drop caps and nested styles. Sorry, Kefis, what's up?
I got lost on naming the character style.
Okay, so did you finish naming the character style then?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. So did you make it green, this khaki green?
Yes, I did.
Okay, lovely. So when you went over to character styles, did you add the character style yet?
No, I didn't. Where
okay,
it is
cool. Could you repeat that?
You said I give it a name, T.
Oh, yeah. So once you create it, so when you hit that little plus button for new character style, then you can give it a name. T name is the title we're giving to it. So Kapanza, you haven't missed much since the lunch break. All we've done so far is we selected this text on the second spread. So if you scroll down to the second spread and you select this text Earl Grey, then you can make that green. So there's a khaki green color. And once you've done that, you can add a character style. So you can go in your properties, click on character styles, hit the plus button to create a new character style and call it T name. Now, guys, there's actually one thing that I forgot to do. So Michelle, if you are in the paragraph options, you can actually just exit out of that because there's one thing we need to copy first while we're here. I'll show you why a little bit later, why it's so important that we copy this. But we want to copy this bullet point. So go ahead and highlight that bullet point and copy it. So Control C to copy that bullet point. The reason why I'm copying that bullet point is because you don't have bullet points on your keyboard, right? So if I'm looking for that on the keyboard, it's not there. So it's not going to be easy for me to add that in the paragraph options dialog box. So that's why I'm copying it now so I can enter it in later. So I've copied that to my pasteboard, or my clipboard, sorry. Now I'm going to edit that paragraph style. So I head over to paragraph styles. I click on the drop-down menu and I find T body, which is the paragraph style that is currently being used. And I go click the little pencil icon next to it, which brings up my paragraph style options. Now, we're headed down to drop caps and nested styles. That's drop caps and nested styles. So as the name implies, you can add drop caps in this section. We're not going to. That's not what we're trying to achieve here. We're looking at the nested styles. So yet again, a nested style just means a character style inside of a paragraph style. So the paragraph style in question here is this T body. We are going to create a new nested style using the character style we already created. So we're going to say new nested style, which will bring up this little section here. And we first need to choose the character style. So I click on the drop-down menu and I choose T name. T name. Then that is going to be applied to a certain section. So we need to apply this up to, and it's going to be a colon there. So you see I've got a colon. So I'm going to say up to, and we're going to say 1, and then instead of word, put a colon so that on your keyboard, write in a colon. So that's tname up to 1 colon. So we see what's going on there. We see that it's applying this tname character style in each paragraph. So at the beginning of each paragraph, but as soon as it hits a single colon, it stops. So it no longer applies that character style anymore. Then we need to work on the country name. Now you might recall I deliberately didn't create a character style for that yet. Not because this is the most expedient way to do it, I just wanted to prove a point. So I'm going to sit and click New Nested Style. And in the drop-down menu, you will see New Character Style. So you don't already have to have made a character style at this point. You can make it up right here and now. So we can say New Character Style. And this one we're going to call Country. Then head over to the basic character formats. And we're going to choose font style italic. Font style italic. And you can go ahead and hit OK. So right now it reads country through one words. That's not correct. You can see the effect that it's giving it. So I see the first nested style, tname, is being applied, and then it stops as soon as it hits the, the colon. But it applies to both these colons and it doesn't touch this, the actual name that we want to affect. So we want this to stop when it hits this bullet point, which is why we copied that bullet point so we can use it. So we're going to say country up to 1, and then in this place, you're going to paste your bullet point. So Control V. You're going to paste your bullet point. So now you can see it's pretty much working the way we want to. There's one small thing to fix, but apart from that, that's pretty cool. So we've got English breakfast all in khaki green. So English breakfast all in khaki green there. Then we have two colons. These guys are italicized along with Sri Lanka up till that bullet point. Now, up to the bullet point, it's working fine, but I don't think I actually want these two colons to be italicized. That's a bit weird. So to fix that, I need to put a nested style in between that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new nested style, one more, last one. So I'm going to create a new nested style. And this time we're going to leave it on none, right? So we don't want any character styles coming through here. So it's none. And we're going to leave that on through. And we're going to put 2. So write the number 2. And then in where it says words, you can put a colon. It's not going to work just yet, so don't worry. Now, we want to look at the reason it might not be working. Nested styles apply in order. So if we look at the current order, it says apply tname up to 1 colon, and we see there it is, tname, it's green, up to 1 colon. Then apply country up to 1 bullet point. All right, so that's why that happens next. So if we say then apply nothing through 2 colons, there's nothing there. There's no point. So what we need to do is we just need to move this up. So select this very last nested style. And on the right-hand side there, you will see there's a little up arrow. Hi, Chanel. You made it back.
Hi, yes. Sorry, what lesson are we on?
We're on lesson 9. Lesson 9.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so all I did there was I selected this one that says none, and I hit that little up arrow. So there we see it's looking perfect. We've got the T name being applied right up to the to the colon. Then nothing is being applied through 2 of those colons. And lastly, the country character style is being applied up until that bullet point. So that is looking perfect. I'm just going to leave up the nested styles box on my screen just for a little bit longer, just for you guys to make sure that you've got the correct settings there. Right. So I'm just going to hit OK there and have a look at my work. So what I can see now, guys, because we already had those paragraph styles applied to all of the text, when I updated that paragraph style with our new settings, we managed to affect everything, right? Absolutely everything here has changed. And that is by the virtue of us using the style and updating the style. Okay. So we've created character styles, we've created paragraph styles. And what we just did now was we put character styles inside of paragraph styles. What we're going to look at now is an object style. So we did apply object styles right in the beginning of day one, but it's been a while since we did that. So we're going to be creating some object styles now. So what we're going to do is we are first going to bring up our layers window. Now this is just because the guys who created this document happen to separate some things onto layers. So 99% of the stuff is all on layer 1. And then we see there are these two other layers, ETP type and ETP circle. And that's referring to these guys here. So if you hide the type, you'll see that there was some text on those shapes. And if I hide the circle, you see that that was the black circle beneath it. So what's quite nifty is if you want to select everything inside of a, whatchamacallit, everything inside of a layer, you can do so just by clicking on the block there. So if I click on this block where it says ETP circle, what that'll do is select everything in that layer. It just so happens that the only thing in this layer are those circles. All right. Now, we're going to make some changes to this ETP circle. Just for demonstration's sake, I'm actually going to deselect everything, and I'm just going to work on one. So I'm going to deselect by clicking on the blank space there. And let's zoom in to one of them. Not too close, but close enough that we can actually work. Go ahead and select one of these guys. And let's bring up our object styles window. So if you don't already have it, you can go to Window, Styles, Object Styles. That's Window, Styles, Object Styles. Right, so at this point in time, I can see that there are no unique styles applied here, right? Nobody's created one. So we're going to have to do that. Just like a character style or like a paragraph style, we can start by formatting the item as we want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm first just going to make it that khaki green. So in the fill, I'm going to click on fill. I'm going to make it khaki green.
Sorry, Andrew, can I ask you something?
Sure.
Why is it that whenever I go and click on the circle, it moves me into the third layer, the red layer?
It's possible that you are accidentally clicking on the type in front of it. So what you just need,
circle.
correct, yeah. So what you can do if you want to avoid that is maybe just lock the type layer. So if you lock the type layer up, then you can't accidentally click on it at all, and you will definitely click on the circle.
Thanks.
Okay. So we've selected our circle now. We've headed over to fill, and we've made him green. I'm going to now save that as an object style. So once you've made the changes with your object styles window, just go hit this plus button, just like we do for everything else. And there you'll see it creates object style 1. Go click on that, double click to change the name. We're going to call this circle for lack of imagination. or you can call it ETP, whatever you like. Now, once you've got that, we are going to apply this to all of the circles. We're going to do that with our little trick of selecting all the items. So remember, it's unbelievably easy to select all the items in a particular layer. All you do is click on the little square next to the layer there. So you're just going to click on that little square, and that will select everything in that layer. So we now have everything selected in that layer. And in our object styles, we're just going to click on circle. Mixed overrides. That's interesting. I wonder what overrides it's seeing.
So how do you select again? Just come
Sure.
again.
So we're wanting to select everything in the ETP circle layer.
Mhm.
So what you're going to do is right next to ETP circle layer, you'll see there's that little square.
Yeah.
Just click on it. And that will select everything in the ETP circle layer.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Then once you've done that, just go click on circle in your object styles to apply that to them. Now, just as a point of interest, you might see that it's got a little plus sign there once I've applied it. If it doesn't have a plus sign on yours, don't worry about it. You can ignore me. But if it does, we might want to just clear any overrides. So overrides are when somebody has applied additional changes to a style. So you have a style and then somebody's tweaked it. So we don't really want any of those. To be honest, it doesn't actually make sense that there are any overrides at this point. But if you want to get rid of those overrides, you will see there is a little button down here which says clear overrides. So you can give that a click. Oi. And of course, it'll decide not to work for no apparent reason. It just hit cancel there, sorry. All right, it's supposed to clear the overrides. Why it believes there's overrides in the first place, I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think there are any, actually. I think that might be a little bit of a glitch because they all look identical. So don't fret about that. We'll see if it causes any trouble. I don't think it's going to. Now, what we can do is we can update that style there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a drop shadow effect to this ETP circle. Now, we haven't yet added any effects in InDesign, but it's pretty straightforward. It's very similar to other products. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select one of them. And in the appearance panel, you will see there we have effects. Right, so we've got effects. You can click on effects, and there you will see the option for a drop shadow. So we get a bit of a preview of what that drop shadow is looking like. If you don't see the preview, it's quite important that you do. Make sure that preview is ticked at the bottom there. Very, very important. So I see preview is checked and I can see how that drop shadow is being applied. Now, this drop shadow is looking a little poorly. I don't like the looks of it, so I'm going to make some adjustments. I think first of all, I'm going to bring the shadow a little bit closer to the object. There's two ways to do this. You can either just reduce the overall distance in conjunction with the angle, or you can change the offset. So both will essentially affect one another. So it's different ways of working the same settings. So I'm going to drop that to an offset of 2 points each. And if you like it looking different, go for it. So I've got 2 points on my X and Y offset. Then we've got the size and the spread of the particular shadow. So the size is sort of how blurry it is. So if you drop that size, you'll see the shadow becomes much sharper to the point where if we have just a single, whoops, sorry, I meant to zoom in over here. If we have 0 size, you'll see it's just a hard line. There's no softness. Whereas if I increase the size a little bit, I get a bit of a blurred edge. So I think I'm going to leave it on 1 point. Now, frankly, this shadow is just looking a little bit dark to me. It's very contrasted with this white page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the opacity down a little bit. Maybe to like 50% instead of 75, just to make it a bit more gentle. And then I can go ahead and hit OK. If you guys want, you can also change the display performance. So right now this shadow is looking very pixelated, looks kind of strange. So I'm just going to go up to View, Display Performance, and I'm going to choose High Quality Display. That's given me a bit of a better idea of what that shadow looks like. Now, if we bring up our Object Styles window again, so I go to Object, apologies, Window, Styles, Object Styles. There is now a genuine override to this object style. So we have added on this shadow, right? So there's an override there. If we hover over it, it'll give us a bit of a hint. It says to clear the overrides, you can Alt-click there, so if you want, but we actually want to update this style. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this drop-down menu, and we're going to say Redefine Style. So we're going to go to the menu and say Redefine Style. Okay, so as you can see, now that I've redefined the style, it's updated all of the other ones that have that applied, which is very, very helpful. So that's the one way to do it. Of course, just like your paragraph and character styles, you can also update the style in the object style options. To do that, all you'll need to do is double click on the circle object style, and it's going to bring up the object style options. This can feel a little overwhelming, but all you need to think of is these are all of the potential things that could house an object style. So we've got everything from fills and strokes to corner options, text wraps, and then what we've just done now, the effects. So you can see there's my drop shadow effect, which we added earlier. But we could also go ahead and add a bevel, maybe. A bevel and an emboss. And we can fiddle with the settings there. If it's too big, we can reduce the size. Although I dare say the size was actually quite nice the way it was. Can maybe reduce the depth of it though. All right, so I can then go ahead and say, okay. Now, I think that looks pretty cool. We've managed to format these object styles. There's just one more type of style that we're going to be working on in this particular exercise. That is working with tables. We're not going to get into tables in a big way. We're just going to be working on some basic styles for them. So if you scroll up, you will find that we have the this little table here on the first spread. All right. Now, it's kind of useful to think about your table in terms of the table and then the cells of the table. So in the same way that we can get character styles and paragraph styles, you can get cell styles and table styles. So cell styles will apply to just individual cells, whereas the table style will affect everything, and the table style might also include cell styles. I realize I have moved on maybe too quickly though. Does anybody want me to go over anything that we've covered so far? All right. So over here in our table style, we are going to select just a couple of cells. And the cells we're going to select are these first two here, T and finished leaf. So double click in there and then highlight, just like you would normal text, highlight those two cells. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the table menu. There you will see cell options, strokes and fills. So that's the table menu, cell options, strokes and fills. Okay. Now the only thing we're really going to change here is the cell fill. We're going to choose one of the colors here, which is this sort of beige color.
How do you come to that again?
To the cell options, you're going to go up to table, the table menu, and there you will see cell options.
Okay.
And you can click on strokes and fills.
Okay. Thanks.
Cool. All right, so we've just added the color there, which is that sort of beige color that we're going to be using. That's looking good. I'm okay with that. Okay. Now, just like other styles, we made the change that we wanted. Now we're going to add it as a style. So we need to bring up our cell styles window for this. So we're going to head over to window, or actually, you know what? You can get it. Can you? I'm lying. Yes, I'm lying. Sorry. Go to window, styles, and cell styles. Window, styles, cell styles. There it is. So we're going to create a new cell style, but we're not going to add it over here. What we can do is go into the menu, and if we say new cell style there, it'll then take us into this dialog box. And we're going to call this table head. Table head. Now, it just so happens that somebody has made a paragraph style for this already. So you'll see under paragraph styles there, you can choose, where's it gone? I think we're going to be using head 4. Head 4 is the paragraph style we'll be using. You can turn on the preview there if you want. You shouldn't see anything just yet. Okay. So once you've got that all set up, you can go ahead and hit OK. So we've created one cell style. We're going to now create another cell style. But before we do that, let's just select these first two cells here of the second row. So we're going to select these two guys here to set that up the way that we want to. And now we're going to go and create that new cell style. So just the same way, you can go to the menu there, new cell style. We're going to call this table body rows. And the paragraph style that this is going to get is called table body. Table body. All right, so that's it for that one. So the name is table body rows, and then choose the paragraph style, table body. Now, you should see that when you bring up your cell styles, it automatically comes with your table styles as well. So we're going to click on table styles there to hop over to that. And we're going to create a new table style. So we're going to click on that drop-down menu and say new table style. And we're going to call this T table. Now, for starters, we're going to use those cell styles that we just created. So in the header rows, we're going to call that table head, the one that we just created. And then in the body rows, we're going to give that the table body rows, which we also just created. Now, there are other settings that we can apply at the whole table level without having to create character styles for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the fills category under new table style here. And we're going to choose a pattern for this particular table style. So under alternating pattern, we're going to choose every other row. And we're going to choose the color, this sort of khaki color here. And we're going to tint it. So right now it's tinted to 20%. We're going to tint it down a little bit, well, up. So we're going to make it 30%, just a little bit darker. And that should be fine there. Okay, and then we can go ahead and say, okay. Now, we haven't actually applied this table style here. Maybe you guys have, I haven't. You can see that I've got the table style there. It is there. We just haven't applied it. So all you have to do with your mouse somewhere, anywhere in this table is to click T-table. And there it has been applied. So just to kind of recap over what we did there, we added some character style. Oh, sorry, I nearly said character. We added some cell styles, and those cell styles happen to contain paragraph styles already. So if I click my mouse onto the texture, you'll see under paragraph styles, it's registering head 4, which was the paragraph style that we gave it. So the table style kind of grouped all of those things together. It grouped the cell style, which also had the paragraph style inside it. So that's kind of cool. All right, so there we can change the entire table. Did I lose anyone going through that? Would anybody like me to go over that again? All right. So that is the table style. Now, one of the things that you will notice, perhaps with frustration, when you are going about creating a new InDesign document, is that the styles disappear. So, you will go through all this effort to create some styles in one document, and then you create a new document, you start from scratch. Very frustrating, except it doesn't have to be frustrating. You can copy styles into your CC libraries. Unfortunately, right now, my CC libraries are giving me uphill. I think I'll probably have to restart Creative Cloud to get those back. Bit of a schlep, unfortunately, but you can save paragraph styles to that library very, very easily. So you will see here, if you open up your paragraph styles window, first of all, you'll see that you can group these paragraph styles. But second of all, you'll see there's the option there to add a selected style to your CC library. So if you create a number of styles that you want to use again and again and again, pop it into your library. And then when you open up InDesign the next time, you guys can just jump straight into that library, use those styles which you've already created, as opposed to having to start from scratch, right? No point starting from scratch if you don't have to. Alternatively, you can always import styles from another document. So if you went to all this effort to make your styles beautiful in one document, you saved that document up, you started a new document, you can import those styles from that document. This is how we do it. What you're going to do in your paragraph styles window is you're going to click on the menu and you're going to say load paragraph styles. Load paragraph styles. And In your lesson 9 folder, we're going to click on the end document. This is just a normal InDesign document. We're going to click on the end document and open it up. Now, you can choose which of these styles you actually want to import. A lot of them we already have, so we don't need to bring them all in. So I'm going to say uncheck all, except I'm going to check, which one did I want? Was it drop cap body? I'm going to choose drop cap body, and you will see when I hit drop cap body, it automatically grabs 2 other styles there, which happen to be character styles if you look carefully, because they've got a little A next to them. So what that tells me is that this is most likely a nested style that they're bringing in. So I'm going to click on drop cap body, which highlights these other 2 guys as well. And then we're going to say, OK. And now we should see that in our paragraph styles. There's drop cap body. So we can go apply drop cap body now. We're going to apply it just under loose leaf tees. So under loose leaf tees, we're going to place our cursor and I'm going to go and click on drop cap body. And there we go. Now, this is quite an interesting little paragraph style that they've got here. So just for our own education, I think we should investigate what the settings on this look like so we know how to create this unique effect. What I can see there is they've got a drop cap added to their paragraph style, as well as a nested line style there. So to view the options, you can double click on drop cap body, which will bring up the paragraph style options. And where we're going to be looking is in the drop caps and nested styles. And here we can see what they've done. So first of all, I see they've got a drop cap there. So they've got a drop cap which drops 2 lines. So I can see that there. And it goes up to 2 characters, which is why it covers the we and not just the W. I also see that they've created a character style for that drop cap, which is what we're seeing there. That's why it looks the way it does. And lastly, I see that they've got a nested line style. So I see that it applies the italic character style that somebody else has created for 1 line, which is why it does what it does there. So that was kind of cool. So if somebody's gone to the effort of creating a style like that, maybe it's a colleague, maybe it was you, instead of having to redo their work, you can just load their document. You don't have to export anything, nothing special. You just load the exact same InDesign file that they were using, and you choose the paragraph styles that you want, which I think is kind of dandy. It's very cool. Okay. How are you guys feeling? Are you doing all right? Alrighty. So I don't want to jump onto much new stuff anymore because I think we've covered a heck of a lot. And I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I would much rather do repetition, cover things that you guys would like to practice. So handing that over to you guys, what would you like to practice now? What has been an issue? All right, cool. I'll have to use my imagination then. So I think what I'd like to do is perhaps do a bit of practice on our color theming and also creating those nested styles. So we're going to put it into a far simpler context, one that you might actually use. So I think the example down below here was pretty cool. I think it's a nice demonstration of the power of nested styles, but I can't see you guys going to quite such degrees on the usual. So we're going to try this again, but we'll try it with some more simplistic versions. So what we're going to do is we're going to close up this lesson 9. And we're going to create a new document. Let's go for A4, I think. Nice A4. Don't forget to change it to millimeters. Hate working in picas. So change that to millimeters. The margins, 12 millimeters. Let's make it a bit bigger. I'm going to set that up to 20 millimeters. If it's too thick, I can always fix it later. So I'm just going to change that up to 20 millimeters on the margin. And you know what? Don't worry about a bleed. We're not going to be cutting this out of anything. After all, it is a full A4 size document. So if you were printing this on your home printer, you're not cutting anything out. Right, so we've got the size of our document here. I'm going to go ahead and create it.
Andrew, sorry. Is it possible for us to just quickly grab 5 minutes?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's do that. So in that case, we'll come back at 2:10. So if you guys need to run to the loo quickly or anything like that, let's do that now. I'll see you guys back at 2:10, and we will pick up with this exercise. All right, guys, I hope you're feeling a little bit fresher after a quick break. So we're going to be creating a poster. We're going to be creating a poster for a live event. Now, for this event, we're going to need to get an image. So I thought, let's rather go find an image as opposed to using some of the ones that we have in our exercise files. So step one in this scenario is we need to go find an appealing picture. Now, one of my favorite places to go get images is a site called Pexels. So some of you might have used this before. That's Pexels. So PEXELS.com. There we go. I'm just going to look for music, and I'm going to pick a picture that I like. You guys can pick any picture that you like. When you do come to downloading it, you don't have to choose the biggest size. So you can always bring it in a medium size or a small size. But if you want it full size, cool. Nothing's stopping you. I'm not trying to rush your artistic process in choosing your picture. So obviously, once you've got it, just place it into your document here, and you can do that very easily. If you see the download, you'll see there's that little file that pops up in the left-hand corner of your browser. You can just drag that onto your page and place it. Oh, I placed it a bit big. Right. So I've got my picture up here. Now, I decided to make it as big as the whole page. You don't have to. If you'd prefer to leave a gap where you want to write your text, a little bit of white space, that's absolutely fine. Of course, we'll be working with different pictures. They will suit different designs. So this exercise, you don't need to follow me exactly. You can make it look pretty to you. So place your picture somewhere on your page, the way that you want it. And we're going to write a bit of a title here. So give your event a title. Now, one of the things I would like you to do is I would like you to get a bit of a color theme going for this particular image. So my particular image is very colorful, yours might not be. I'm going to use that color theme tool that we used just now to create my color theme. So I'm going to choose the color theme tool. I'm going to click onto the picture and I'm going to choose the colors that I want. So I'm going to go for colorful this time around, and I'm going to add it to my swatches so that I can use it for the rest of my design. Like maybe I'll give the stroke something colorful.
Andrew,
Yes,
what,
sir.
what is the best way to copy the, I'm having a challenge in terms of the size.
The size of which part?
The downloaded photo that I want to paste.
Okay, so is it that it's too big, too small? What's the issue?
It's too big.
All right, so if you happen to bring on your image and it's way too big, all I want you to do is hit undo. And you should see that gives you the loaded cursor, you know, where it's got the picture on your mouse. Let me maybe demonstrate. So I'm going to just delete my picture there, and I'm going to bring it on again. So I drag it onto the page. Now, let's say I just clicked, right? If I just click, watch what happens. Giant picture, no good.
Yeah.
So I hit undo, and there you'll see I now have my loaded cursor. So what I can do then is I can click and drag to make sure it's the exact size that I want it to be. So I'm going to drag all the way until I reach the outside edge, and I'm going to release. Now, just before you do that yourself, remember we can resize the frame. I'm just going to move it up. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just going to move that up because I do actually want the people in that shot. I see the frame on the top now is too high. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to resize the frame on top because it's too high. I'm going to make it flush with the page. I see on the right-hand side, it's also a bit too long. I'm just going to pull that in, and voila, there it is.
Okay, let me try.
Cool. All right. So I've got my picture here. I've got my title. Now to practice our nested styles, I want to put some details on the page here. So I'm going to write up some text, which we're then going to format. So I'm going to put another block for my details there. And we're gonna write the normal things that you would need. So we're gonna write venue. Oh, sorry, it's all black. You can't see a thing, can you? Let me just make that white so it's actually visible. There you go. What else do people need to know? Date. Nice. Dress. Running out of things to think of. Venue, date, price. Mm-hmm. So what I've gone and done is I've just written up some details here. Obviously, these are mock details, so don't spend too much time pondering what it should be. Just put something down there because it's more important that we format this. So what I did here with these details is I added a semicolon, sorry, not a colon, not a semicolon, a colon. And that's quite important because our nested styles are going to need some sort of signal as to when to stop. So what we're first going to do is we're first going to apply the overall paragraph style to the whole damn thing. So you can select all of the text in that little text box, and I'm going to format that however I want, however you want. So make that look how you like. Once you have formatted the basic paragraph style, and don't go crazy on this one, just keep it simple. Then we're going to select just that first word there, including the colon. So I'm going to highlight venue in my particular case. I'm going to highlight venue, and I'm going to make it slightly different. So maybe I will give it a extra bold. I don't know what font variant you have. You can maybe just make it bigger. You can give it a different color. Really any way you like, just to highlight it, make it clearer. And once you've changed it and made it look the way you like, go and add that as a character style. Then what we're going to do is we're going to edit our current paragraph style. So I'm going to head up to my paragraph styles. I'm going to go to the paragraph style which we created earlier. Oopsie daisies. Now, we're going to edit this paragraph style. So I'm going to go in that drop-down menu. I see the paragraph style that I named details. I'm going to go to edit it. We are going to be creating a drop caps and nested style. I'm going to go to new nested style, and I'm going to choose the character style we just made. And what you want to say here is mine was called list, yours might be called character style 1 if you didn't bother to change it. So I've got list through 1, and we're going to put colon, 1 colon. Does anybody need any help so far? Okay, cool. One thing that I just want to show you, you guys might already know this. In my particular example here, I'm just getting some hyphenation, which I don't like. It doesn't look good in this particular scenario. So I'm just going to turn that hyphenation off. Very easy to do. Pardon me. You'll find under your paragraph settings in your properties panel there, if you go to your paragraph settings, you will see hyphenate. Right now it's ticked. Just untick it. And there we go. How's this for strange, guys? My text has become invisible. Huh. Obviously, you just didn't like something about that font all of a sudden. Anyway, so we have added some elements to this. The last thing I think I'm going to add there is just a little star. So I'm going to grab my polygon tool, and to make a star, a nice 5-pointed star, just give it a click. And you can choose the size there. Number of sides for a 5-pointed star should, of course, be 5. And we're going to give it a 50% inset. So it's the polygon tool, and you're just going to give it 5 sides and a 50% inset to give you your star. How are you guys doing? Does anybody need any help? All right, in that case, it's beginning to look like the end of the day. So we're going to begin to wrap up things, but of course, please do shout if you are still needing assistance. I'm not running away. So yeah, that concludes the basic to intermediate course. We've covered many different things, lots of different subjects. We've covered everything from importing text to importing images, changing effects, updating styles, most importantly. So if there's one thing to kind of take from this is when you're working on larger documents, make sure to do a lot of your hard work out the gates, up front. So create your master pages, create your paragraph styles and your character styles. Because that way, once your documents start getting much bigger, you can make those changes with ease. You don't have to go and change each little piece individually. So that's definitely, that's what InDesign is really all about. Right. So with that said, please do shout if you need any help, because the last thing that we now have to do is just course reviews. So if you guys wouldn't mind doing that now with me, otherwise I get in trouble. So for those of you who are familiar with this, you should know the process by now. Where you're going to go is leading training.co.za/review. That's leadingtraining.co.za/, oh, look at me spelling that incorrectly. Right, so you're going to head over to there now so that you guys can do the review there. Once you get there, you should see a page like this to log in. So those of you guys who have logged in before, you can use those details. Michelle, I think this is your first time with us. So you will most likely have received an email for that. Otherwise, if not, I can send you a one-time login link. Did you receive an email to log into your review?
I haven't received an email.
Cool, let me pop you one now. Right, so I've just sent that email to you now, Michelle. It might take a second to get there, so just keep an eye on your inbox, but that should help you to log in.
Awesome, I received it. Thank you.
Oh, nice. That was quick. Good stuff. All right, so once you've logged in there, you should be taken to your dashboard. For the guys who went via the review process, it should take you straight to the review. But otherwise, you can click on course review to begin your review. And yeah, simply follow the answers that, oh, sorry, answer the questions which follow that.
Andrew, I think under my first two courses that were done, when I check my mail, I find there's the attachment.
Okay.
Certificate, but when I open it, it's blank.
Kev, have you managed to log in to your dashboard?
Yes, I do. I do manage.
Lovely, lovely. Do you see the option for My Bookings there?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and when you clicked on your course, when you clicked to download there, was that successful? Oh, flip, I see. Sometimes it does come up blank. That's a bit of an...
Yeah, what I was seeing was something blank.
Interesting.
Then I'll need to check. I don't know whether are you issuing individual certificates for each module?
Yeah, so for each course, you will get a different certificate there.
Okay. And then I'll need to check back. Yeah, because the last time I checked and they told me.
Andrew?
Yeah.
I think you guys, after the first training session that we had on Photoshop, we all had trouble getting in. So I think they did send us an email with our login details and all of that. So I haven't even done that yet, and the review. So I will. So you 3 reviews now. So yeah, if I have a problem, I'll then just contact someone there by leading training. Okay.
All right. Have you managed to log in though? So just try log in, because if you
I need to find that email quickly.
Yeah, just try to find that email quick, because it'll often send you a one-time link to log in, so you can log in from there.
Okay, so I clicked on that link that they sent me.
Yeah.
So do I create now my password again from the get-go?
So what is that link prompting you to do?
Oh crap. Okay, wait. Yeah, it says your one-time link is no longer valid.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, I'll take note of that somewhere. That's a pain. That probably means that look, I mean, it sometimes happens that the guys like test the link themselves, and then it's no longer a one-time link. So what I will try now is I'll try send you a new one. It doesn't always work, but here's hoping. So I'm going to send you a new one, and you can just let me know if that helps you to log in, because then at least if you're logged in, you know, you can update your password and make sure that you actually have access to everything.
Okay.
So let me just
Are you
try
sending
that
it to
now.
me right now?
Yeah, one-time login, and let's send that email. All right, so that should take a second, but that should come to you shortly.
Okay, thanks. Okay, I see. So it took me directly to the dashboard.
Nice. Okay, cool. So from there, you'll see you can do course reviews. So if you go to course review, you can see which courses you still need to do reviews for. And then also you should see your bookings, my bookings. So courses which you've completed from that section, you can download your certificate. So it is quite important that you have access to this. And if you want to update any of your information, or if you want to update your password, you can edit your profile there as well. So that's going to be quite useful for keeping you logged in.
Okay, thanks.
Cool.
So Andrew, before you leave, I'm now logged in.
Cool.
Yeah, but where do I go to check the certificate? Is it my bookings?
Correct.
Yeah, then I click on dashboard.
So yeah, dashboard, my bookings.
Yeah, when I go to my dashboard, then I keep on going back. So
yeah, so click on my bookings.
it says we could not find any bookings for you.
That is bizarre. Because you're obviously definitely on the system, and you're definitely on this course.
Yes.
So Kefis, just checking, which email did you use to log in there?
Oh, maybe I use the email for my workplace.
Okay, the email that I have registered is your Gmail account.
Let me correct. Okay.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay, so I see for Illustrator, which was last week's one, I don't have my certificate there, but I do have for InDesign and Photoshop.
That's interesting. All right, so what I'll do is I'll just check the Illustrator one, just to make sure you're registered as completed there, because that can sometimes be the issue.
Okay, and if my name is spelled incorrectly?
You can just edit your details there.
Oh.
So yeah, so on your dashboard there, you can edit your details to change the spelling.
Oh, okay. And then it will obviously change on the certificates.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, I have updated the status on Illustrator, so I'm not sure if it'll take a second, but when you're ready, you can go back and check that.
You're speaking to me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I realize I'm still recording, and this is not part of the lesson. That's not poignant. Let me